Hi ho, es geht weiter mit Let's Play Tales of Berseria. Hier ist keine Musik, das ist gruselig. Wir sind in Haria angekommen. Wir haben Grimoire dabei. Oh, Katzkiste. Und sie wird uns jetzt helfen, das Buch zu entziffern. Allerdings hat sie schon gemeint, dass es eine sehr alte und komplizierte Sprache ist. Wird also nicht ganz so einfach. Hängematte. Hallo, ich möchte in Ihrer Hängematte schlafen.
We could use a place to stay. Any rooms open?
Yep. Just finished cleaning, in fact. You can help yourself to that room there.
All right, time to start deciphering this scroll.
Let's wait somewhere outside so Grim can concentrate.
Do you think maybe I could stay and watch? I really do want to study the ancient tongue. I promise I'll be quiet and not get in your way, teacher.
What did you just say, child?
That I'd be quiet and...
No, what did you call me?
Teacher? You said you didn't want to be called ma'am, so I thought maybe that'd work.
Yes, satisfactory. All right. I'll teach you how to read Ancient Avarost.
Thank you so much, teacher!
We'll leave you two alone then. Let us know if anything comes up.
Okidoki. Die Gruppe hat sich aufgeteilt. Dann statten wir mal allen einen Besuch ab. Nein. Wo ist denn dieses? Ach, da oben. Na gut. Wieder hoch. Da kommen wir nicht vorbei. Da kommen wir... War die nicht da? Ich bin verwirrt.
Do you plan on just giving up? Palamedes is Amenoch's temple. The priestess isn't the only one whose job it is to protect that temple. It's the duty of everyone born in this village.
Why did the Abbey need Amenoch's temple badly enough to risk causing this much unrest?
But how will we protect our village from the demons if the Abbey abandons us? Besides, we won't be able to do business with the people of Isolt anymore.
Our faith in Amenoch has nothing to do with the demons. When the priestess gets back, I'm going with her to protest.
The demon blight changed everything. Will we never be able to return to the way things were?
The way things were.
Wisst ihr, seit ich in Isolt gesagt habe, dass dieser NPC, der da am Boot sitzt, so ungewöhnlich aussieht und so selten vorkommt, seitdem sehe ich den Typen ständig irgendwo. Der Blonde da. Da ist er schon wieder. Aber ich glaube trotzdem, dass er in den anderen Gebieten nicht war. Dass das nur so ein Südländer Copy-and-Paste-Typ ist.
So she digs being called teacher. Well played, Laphicet.
She wasn't so fond of ma'am, so I guess he figured he needed an alternative.
You can tell how badly he wanted to help her with the languagey work. I think our Malak boy's finally finding himself.
So it would seem.
Malak Boy. Ich meine, ja, aber... Wer ist denn da oben noch? Hello, hello. Klatsch und Tratsch. Ich höre.
Listen, I don't know what they told you in Isolt, but our village has its own traditions. This village is under the divine protection of the Empyrean Amenoch. For unbroken centuries, a line of his priestesses have guided us. They're tasked with performing the sacred rites of worship. And sometimes, they even deliver us his words and will.
And there's still a priestess today?
Of course. And her daughter is training to become our next priestess. Although, I sometimes feel they push themselves too hard. Both mother and daughter are giving their all for Haria. But the Abbey doesn't care about any of that. And they stole our temple from us.
By force?
An exorcist named Teresa came and heard us out. But from the very beginning, she always intended on taking our temple. Her words may have been kind, but that doesn't change the fact that she demanded that we worship her god, Enominat. In all the years we've worshipped Amenoch, not once did we ever try to force others to adopt our beliefs.
Why haven't I seen this priestess she's talking about?
Wie ich es hasse, wenn Leute anderen ihren Glauben aufzwingen. Warum tun Menschen sowas? Das bringt doch nichts.
What connection do you think there is between the violent demon Teresa mentioned and this village?
Couldn't tell you.
Could there have been a demon blight breakout here? This village doesn't look like it's been attacked, but...
Whatever it is. If it keeps the Abbey's eyes off us for once, that's good enough for me.
You really will use anything and everything towards your own aims, won't you?
Yep, and that includes you, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Ach, Velvet, du bist nicht mal halb so hart, wie du tust. Kräuter. Hi. Bubbel. Hui. Ich habe Eisen gesehen. Eisen. Und, oh, da ist ein Krebs. Guck mal, kann ich die Kamera irgendwie hoch? Nein, ich will nicht. Ich will die Kamera näher machen. Konnte man nicht ranzoomen? Nein. Nein. Na gut. Ich glaube, irgendwie konnte man das umstellen, aber ich weiß nicht wie. Hoch. Oh, ich habe Shortcuts. Das vergesse ich immer. Egal. Hi, Eisen. Hallo?
It sounds like deciphering the text might take some time.
We should be prepared to wait it out here a while. Hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end.
I hope so too. But ancient Avarost is complex. It's not just a matter of knowing the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh? Then how exactly do you read it?
I'm not sure about the specifics myself, but from what I understand, you kind of have to intuit a lot of it.
A language based on guesswork? Thanks, old dead people. You're officially the worst.
Naja, das erklärt zumindest, warum es so lange dauert. Natürlich steht Magilu da oben. Wäre ja auch zu einfach, wenn sie hier unten wäre beim Rest. Hi.
Banning local religions. The Abbey sure knows how to oppress the populace.
I'd imagine that comes part and parcel with spreading the good word. Other gods would only get in the way.
From what we overheard, it sounds like they've taken over Amenoch's temple, Palamedes, to use as their base of operations.
Sealing it off would be provocative enough. But straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
Oh, ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Sa, Popo, Mucho, Sancho.
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with the Nominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like... San-san, Pocho Pocho, Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Muson. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Muson. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into... the Nameless Empyrean.
Empyrean!
Ho ho, that has to refer to Innominat. I think we're on to something. Alright, so if we apply this rule here, then... It would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Innominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words.
Ich hätte ja keine Lust
I
auf so eine
wonder if they've
Sprache.
made any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
Also so zum Rätseln ja, aber wenn ich die Info wirklich wichtig brauche, wäre mir das zu anstrengend mit diesem ewigen Interpretieren.
Well, any results?
Yes. Well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Careful, honey tongue. You'll give this old girl ideas.
Huh?
Now, child, I'm sure they're curious about the song we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Song?
8-headed is the lord of the land, with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart. The nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therians?
Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Innominat.
Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.
All right.
I take it we're still in for a good long wait before it's thoroughly decrypted.
Likely so, but if we want to find out what the Abbey is up to, we need to know what's in this book, no matter how long it takes.
What the Abbey's up to, is it?
I think we can learn much, even from the lyrics alone. The drawings depict him with 8 heads. One of them belongs to his main body, but the other 7 are his mouths. Those mouths consume malevolence, sending it along Earth pulses back to that main body so he can awaken. The 7 monsters fitting that description are called
Therians.
Right. Now as for this malevolence, I have no idea what that means.
What about the second part?
I haven't studied much ancient history, but it said this world was created by 4 Empyreans: Earth, Water, Wind, and Fire. But they also call Innominat an Empyrean. Perhaps a war broke out between Innominat and the other Empyreans that resulted in him being sealed away.
But if there is someone to connect with this divine power, the Therians will keep spawning. And just like that, Innominat will be revived. If we assume that Shepherd Artorius fits that bill, and that he's trying to reawaken Innominat, everything lines up.
Which means our job is to find these Therians and cut off Innominat's heads, so to speak.
But where do we even start looking for them?
Remember, the song states that the Therians in Innominat's body are connected through Earth pulses. If their job is to feed Innominat, the most effective place to position them would be at the Earth pulse points.
Points?
The place is where the power of Earth pulses is concentrated.
Places with that sigil. Hey, remember the barrier that was keeping this bug in the forest? Wait, are you trying to say that thing's a Therian? And yet, it would explain why the Abbey was keeping it locked up. And there was that same barrier at the villa, too.
That's right. Do you suppose that was also a Therian? Does that mean the Therians all come in different forms?
Should we go to Logres and check?
We've just started deciphering the book. I'd hate to lose time on some fool's errand. I'd rather know at least a little more about what's in it before we make a move.
Something bothering you, Grim?
This line. The one about Therians being forever reborn.
just felt the same thing as I did in Warg Forest.
The needle's pointing in the direction of Aminoch's temple, Palamedes. Do I recall hearing that the Abbey took that over?
Temples and ritual sites are often built on places thought to be rich in spiritual energy. Could the temple possibly be an Earth Pulse point?
There's lots of Earth Pulse points scattered all over the world. If there's only 7 Therians, most of them will be empty.
It's not like we have any better leads. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we go check it out?
Better than sitting around waiting on the book. If nothing else, we'll find out what Laphicet is sensing.
Just a theory, but if you were to kill a Therian...
What?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Never mind. Good luck out there.
Okay, dann auf zum Tempel.
If I'm in this 100%. Don't blame me if this goes sour.
So. Hi. Wart ihr gestern auch schon da? Wenn ihr das Dorf durch das äußere Tor verlasst, gelangt ihr zu einem Lager der Abtei in Palamedes. Allerdings müsst ihr zuerst die Gefahren des Mannernriffs überstehen. Die Reise ist nichts für einfache Leute. Sehen wir aus wie einfache Leute? Wir sind einfache Touristen. Nichts weiter. Wir sind nur Touristen. Wir sind ganz unauffällig. Hallo NPC, der neuerdings überall steht. Ich hätte es nicht sagen dürfen. Jetzt sehe ich nur noch ihn. Überall.
Who are you?
The innkeeper's daughter. I happened to overhear you all talking about going to Palamedes and...
Did you report us to the Abbey?
Report? But you already have an exorcist with you.
If you have any business, talk with her then.
I'm Eleanor Hume, an exorcist with the Abbey. How might I be of service? I want you to look for someone. A mother and her child went to visit the Abbey grounds, but they haven't returned. They've both gone missing? Yes. The mother's name is Mahina. She's a priestess of Aminoch. And her little daughter's name is Kamoana. Hold on. If she's a priestess of Aminoch... Right. Ever since the Abbey booted her out from the temple, she's been regularly going back to make her objections heard. But one day, she never returned home. And now her daughter has disappeared too. I can only assume that she went to go look for her mother. And you believe they're being held at the temple? Oh no, ma'am. I just can't imagine Mahina would abandon her daughter like that. Kamoana is next in line to succeed her, so she's had a strict upbringing, but her mother truly loves her. Please forgive Mahina for her protests. I was just hoping you could use the Abbey's resources to track them down. I will do everything in my power to find them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like Kamoana, I grew up with only my mother as family. I can't help but worry for them. Of course.
Let's be off, Miss Exorcist.
Okay, dann werden wir uns beim nächsten Mal durch dieses Riff hier prügeln und zum Tempel begeben, um die verschwundene Mutter und die Kind zu suchen. Also dann. Ciao, ciao.